सिद्धिविनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता.
A very warm welcome to you, and this is a conversation with the Indian High Commissioner to Ghana, His Excellency Sugand Rajaram. It's a conversation we are having to look at our preparations for their 75th independence anniversary. And we know Ghana and India have a lot to share. We've tapped from each other, and today the conversation is going to look at what both of us can leverage on whilst they're celebrating their Independence Day. My name is Regina Asamoah, and then let's start with the conversation. His Excellency, welcome, and we are happy that you are honoring this interview so that we get to know more about your country, and we believe that it will deepen the cooperation between Ghana and then India. We know that on 15th August annually you celebrate your Independence Day, and this year, 2022, is the 75th anniversary. We would want you to run us through what we should be looking out for in this year's activities.
Thank you. I think let me have to say namaste to you and all your viewers and audience. And this is a great opportunity for me to interact with you and your viewers, your audience, especially when we are celebrating 75 years of Indian independence. This is a momentous occasion, very important occasion, very important milestone for India to see that what India has achieved in the last more than 7.5 decades, and what needs to be done and what could be done at least in the next 25 years when we will be celebrating 100 years of our independence. And at the same time, India's achievement is not just because of India and Indians alone. It is because of India's alliances, partnership and friendship with the countries in the world. And in that context, our friendship and partnership, which is age old, is very important, and that's why there is a reason for celebrate this occasion with Ghana and Ghanaians. It is also an important moment for Ghanaians to celebrate India's achievement, because we started our journey for independence together. We were kind of brothers in arms in our struggle against colonialism. We got independence in 1947. Ghana got independence a decade later, which was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to be free from the colonial yoke. So we are kind of partners, friends who started our journey since independence together. So when we are celebrating 75 years of independence today, and looking at the things what could be done in the future when Ghana celebrates such an occasion after a decade, we will also be with Ghana to see that what we could do together to complement, support and facilitate the efforts of nation building and development here in Ghana as a close and warm and old friend of this country. These celebrations we have launched almost more than a year ago. Last 12th March 2021 we launched it with the hands of the Right Honorable Speaker, and since then we are organizing number of events covering number of aspects of Indian polity, society, culture, economy, and we are organizing events. We are getting a lot of participation from Ghanaians across sections of the society. So we are now at the peak of our celebrations, at the mid of our celebrations, where this 15th August, Monday, we will have we'll have India 75 years old, and we are organizing a week-long celebration around that period, We are launching it with the inaugural cultural gala at National Theatre on 12th of August. You all are welcome, and we'll have many more cultural events in the next 2 or 3 days, not only in Accra but also in Kumasi. On 15th of August, which is the main day, we'll have the national flag hoisting at India House with the participation of hundreds of Indian community members and cultural events. And in the evening, we will have a state reception again at India House with the participation of Ghanaian authorities, ministers and other authorities, traditional authorities, businesses, diplomatic corps members, and also a few of the members of the Indian community. The next day we are having a spiritual evening with with the participation of one of the great spiritual gurus, leaders from India, Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, speaking on various aspects of happiness. And we will have a kind of business come political event in the week following, the inaugural joint commission meeting between India and Ghana here in Accra, where Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, External Affairs of India will be chairing the meeting with the Ghanaian Foreign Minister, and will take stock of the whole gamut of bilateral relations between our two countries. The Minister will be accompanied by a large size business delegation from India, and we'll be having kind of a business roundtable and other engagements with the Ghanaian businesses, especially from the Association of Ghana Industries and National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So all in all, this month looks to be very active in terms of celebrating the 75 years of our independence. And we are looking forward to see that when we are celebrating this momentous occasion, what our two countries can do together in order to strengthen relations further. What could be the new areas of cooperation? What could be the new priorities of our relations? I think that will be our effort to see that we work together to strengthen our relations further in these areas.
I remember the lecture that our former speaker held. We held it at this place. It was a very interactive session, and I'm hoping all the other events will also be interactive as we mark. In your conversation, your earlier speech, you said that you're looking at strengthening the collaboration between the two countries, as in Ghana and then India. We know that in the past years, 75 years, the other countries have built alliances with, but focusing on Ghana in terms of commercial relations, taking a look at it, how has it been, and what do you anticipate moving forward?
I think trade and investment relations, or for that matter, the business, economic, commercial relations are at the core of our engagement. Our close political ties have given a way to deepen our economic engagement in the last more than 7 decades. India has been one of the largest, and I think for that matter, till very recently, the largest trade and investment partner of Ghana. Before COVID, we touched almost $5 billion of trade, but during the COVID time, it dropped to almost half, $2.3 billion. But it's good to note that in the following year, despite pandemic challenges, we increased our trade by more than 15% to $2.7 billion. And more importantly for India, India increased its exports to Ghana by more than 30%, from $850 million to $1.2 billion. That shows that how there are huge synergies and opportunities for strengthening our economic relations despite the challenges. Despite the challenges, the resilience of our businesses, our economy has shown that we are now poised for quick economic recovery in the post-pandemic situation. We see that in the areas that are non-traditional, there are Indian businesses who are interested in Ghana. Agriculture, rural development, small and medium businesses in the rural areas, renewable energy, solar, irrigation and water supplies, yes, health and education. And health is very important, particularly when we are coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think the Indian businesses are really excited and they are interested to know that how they can partner with the Ghanaian businesses to invest in these areas. It's no more just the trade which is increasing in strength, but the investments, the value addition is being strengthened and looked at as a priority in the post-pandemic situation. And when we see the coming off of the African Continental Free Trade Area, that excites the businesses and investors to see that how they can make Ghana as a hub for their activities to expand to the continental market. So all in all, I see that the trade and economic relations are growing and see a very bright future in the immediate time to come. We had the third meeting of the Joint Trade Committee very recently on 21st of July in Delhi, for which the Deputy Trade and Industry Minister co-chaired from the Ghanaian side, and we discussed a gamut of issues which require our attention in the areas of trade and investments. We also had the third round of Foreign Office consultations between India and Ghana, and there also we discussed strengthening trade and investment relations between our two countries. Soon we will have the Joint Commission meeting here in Accra on 24th-25th of August, and Joint Commission is the highest platform between our two countries for the authorities to discuss full spectrum of the bilateral relations. So I see that there is a lot of interest among the both the authorities and the businesses to reinvigorate the business relations between the two countries. Just coming out of the pandemic, we organized two exhibitions here in Accra. March end we organized agriculture and agri-tech exhibition where close to 50 Indian businesses participated, showcasing their products and technologies. And April end we organized an exhibition in pharmaceutical and healthcare sectors where around 60 Indian businesses participated. So we can see that the businesses are now geared towards increased cooperation and increased exposure for Indian products, technologies, services and skills to be showcased for the Ghanaian businesses to partner with. So I see many more efforts could be taken to strengthen our business relations in the time to come.
I know when it comes to the commercial relations between Ghana and India, day in, day out, there are new twists that is helping to strengthen the bonds between the two countries. Let's look at COVID. Prior to COVID and post-COVID. We know when it comes to pharmaceutical industry, India is giant. And we know Ghana is also making steps and has partnership with several Indian countries when it comes to the pharmaceutical area. We know India supported our country in diverse ways. Can you share with us how the support was and in your own living in our country during COVID time, what did you see? And for the Ghanaian government, do you think we really did a lot in during and post COVID time?
I think COVID was really a very challenging time for not just for India and Ghana, but for the whole world. In fact, many of the developed countries suffered so badly. But I must commend both the governments in India and Ghana to quickly rise to the occasion, put the act together, involve all the stakeholders, and mitigate the efforts of the challenge of the pandemic. In India, we supported the vulnerable sections of the society. We developed our own capabilities to test, to produce necessary drugs, equipments, PPE kits, etc., not just for India but to take care of the global needs. We supported with these things drugs, kits, vaccines to all the countries in the world, including countries in Africa and Ghana. In fact, the first consignment under the COVAX initiative, which came to Ghana, was manufactured in India. We also, gifted a few of the vaccines to Ghana. Being the leader in pharmaceuticals and healthcare, India was and has been committed to the global needs and requirement, and not just the requirements of Indians. In Ghana, I would like to commend the efforts of the authorities, the health professionals, the frontline workers. They all came together, and in fact, Ghana had record number of testing done, and the facilities were upgraded to cater to the requirements, and we could see that a lot of efforts were undertaken to mitigate the effect of the pandemic here in the country. Um, um, Due to these efforts, we could see that the casualties were almost minimal compared to what has happened in other countries, both in Africa and globally. So this is some kind of a success for the efforts of not just the government and other authorities, but everyone who worked together to fight the challenge. And we yes, not just the High Commission, but the Indian community here had to rise to the occasion, and we, through the Indian community and Indian businesses, we contributed significantly towards the efforts of the government in terms of supply of drugs, equipments, necessary utilities, and in terms of contribution to the COVID fund. Indian community really contributed well in the whole process which was going on here, and for that matter, I would like to commend their efforts also. So all in all, though it was a challenge, a huge challenge, I think India and Ghana both faced that challenge well, braved the challenge successfully, and now we are here in the post-pandemic situation to see that we work towards quick economic recovery, and to see that by prioritizing, by reinvigorating our efforts, we strengthen our relations further.
And so this is a follow-up question still on COVID. We know that during the COVID time, the figures from India was alarming. And then the number of deaths, and to the point where we saw a lot of people being cremated and all that. But it looks like, let me see, India bounced back so well and everything is going on so well. What can we learn from India? We are not hoping for another pandemic, but I think there are lessons we can pick from India. Can you share with us?
In fact, the country of the size and diversity like India is naturally supposed to have that kind of a challenge. 1.4 billion people, huge subcontinent, the crowded urban places, the presence of laborers from one area in other areas which are too distant from their homes, vulnerable sections of the societies like farmers, street vendors, laborers, as part of significant part of the economy. I think the pandemic was huge challenge for the not just the economy but for the society, and especially during the second wave where the Delta variant hit India. That was the time when we had hundreds of thousands of infections occurring every day, and tens of thousands of deaths. That was a situation where no country and no power could have managed that situation. But by working together with all stakeholders, by increasing the production of necessary material, especially during the COVID, where the production of oxygen was very important, and by working with our global partners, because and we'd like to thank the countries like Ghana and other countries who supported India well during that time by provision of particularly the oxygen tankers and cryogenic facilities for carrying concentrated oxygen from one part of the country to the another part. We succeeded to contain that large infection number within weeks. Within a month and a half, we came back to the normal situation, and that's the success that I think was possible by the efforts taken by the policy authorities, the authorities in the states, in the regions, all healthcare workers, frontline workers, and all the countries in the world. So everybody coming together. I think God forbidden if such pandemic recurs. I think these are few of the lessons that though we are required to isolate, we need to be together in some form. We need to help each other, we need to work with each other, and we need to work in mission mode to counter the challenge. I think that was kind of a experience that I think everyone has learned out of this.
Every country with all the entire lessons, and we are not hoping for another pandemic, but I know certainly we are more prepared.
Yes.
Away from COVID, let's look at Ghana and India's social cultural relations. Culture is something that is dynamic, and we all tend to learn from each other. As part of your activities, I know there's a line-up activity, a culture inaugural lecture, that will also look at maybe the cultural relations and other activities that we will do. Let's look at it. For you, do you think, sitting back and watching this year's Ghana and India relations, how would you describe both countries when it comes to we tapping from each other in terms of cultural relations?
I think socio-cultural ties, are very important for our countries and our societies. I always maintain that we are the same people, because we have rich culture, rich traditions, very ancient heritage, and a very diverse culture to nurture with. Um, the sharing of our traditions, culture, heritage will enrich each other, and that has happened for so many centuries. That's why here, as you yourself said, that telenovelas, daily soaps are watched very, with a lot of interest and involvement, um, um, because we see that the depiction of the values, the issues, the way it is done is the same, in both the societies. Um, I see a lot of Indian movies also screened on various television channels here on a very regular basis, and at the same time I have seen many of the Ghanaians following Indian performing arts, dances, particularly the Bollywood dancing, and also other aspects of culture. Indian food is popular. There are many restaurants here which give Ghanaians an opportunity to taste the Indian cuisine on regular basis. Um, at the same time, we see that there could be opportunities to exchange our art and culture. Very recently, in April May, we sent 15 Ghanaian artists to India to participate in a month-long international festival, and they were appreciated by the viewers there. Um, so that gave an opportunity to showcase Ghanaian culture, particularly the performing arts, dances and other forms to the Indians. Similarly, now we are bringing around 20-member troupe, Bollywood art troupe, and they will be here for a week starting from 12th of August, and on 12th of August they are performing at the National Theatre when we are hosting the inaugural gala to celebrate the 75 years of Indian independence. There are many areas that we are looking at to strengthen relations between our two countries in the socio-cultural, people-to-people areas. Tourism, at the same time art conservation, um, helping the artisans to conserve and preserve our handicrafts and other artisan activities. I think these are some of the areas that we're looking at to strengthen our relations in the socio-cultural field. I see with the presence of the large Indian community in Ghana, people-to-people relations are going to get strengthened in the coming time. Because the Indian community here is very active in terms of cultural content, and every now and then they organize number of cultural events where I get an opportunity to inaugurate these events, and we would like to encourage the Ghanaians to be part of those cultural events, so that they can be exposed to the diverse cultural traditions of India, because India is a big continent like Africa. We call it Indian subcontinent, and the traditions and the heritage and the art, including the food, the languages, is different in different parts of India, like in Ghana. So it will be good if the Ghanaians, who are the close and old friends of India, know Indians in detail. This is another opportunity, through the Indian diaspora and Indian community. We are discussing a cultural exchange program officially between our two governments, and soon we will sign such an agreement where the cultural exchanges in a structured format, exchange of artists and delegations could be done over the period of next 4 years as part of the cultural exchange program. So and we organize number of cultural events, just not as part of the India 75 at the 75th Indian Independence, was on a regular basis, and we stage a number of cultural events showcasing Indian diverse culture. But at the same time, we would like to see that the diverse Ghanaian culture could also be shown, or in India, exposing Indians towards the cultural diversity of Ghana. So I think there is a continuous effort and continuous emphasis on strengthening the relations in this sphere.
So it's still the conversation with the Indian High Commissioner in Ghana, His Excellency Sugan Rajaram, talking about how both countries can leverage on each other to be able to continue to enjoy our independence as they celebrate their 75th independence anniversary on 15th August 2022. This is just a quick one. We want to know, looking forward, strengthening ties between Ghana and India in terms of investments. What do you see, or what would you say that are the areas you would hope between Ghana and India we can strengthen those ties in terms of investments? Which areas would you look at?
I think, as I mentioned in explaining in one of the earlier questions, that trade and investment relations ties form the bedrock of our relations today, and not a single sector of our economic activities left out. Between our two countries to strengthen the relations. If we see today, Indian businesses and investors and the technology developers are interested in every sector. You see infrastructure, critical infrastructure. India and Indian companies are putting in place the first modern railway line in India. Tema Ampakadan, with $450 million of Indian credit. Indian company, Afcons, has executed that. Soon it will be finished and inaugurated. We are, another Indian company, KEC, is working on the urban railway in Accra. Then we are working on another railway sector in between Kumasi and Obuasi by Indian company. Very recently, along with the Vice President, I cut the sword of dualization of a road project between Tamale and Wale Wale, the first phase of that project between Savelugu and Wale Wale. So we can see that from the infrastructure, you see agriculture, where we have extended $150 million of line of credit for agriculture mechanization. So this developmental assistance is supposed to make the agri businesses multiply their opportunities further. So agriculture, rural development, many of the Indian companies are in the agri commercial cultivation sector. There are many Indian agri investors who are looking for new opportunities in this sector. The businesses to process the agri produce in the rural areas, they are also very much interested. The animal husbandry, fisheries, which are the core sectors of rural economy, are also are being discussed. Irrigation and other supplies for the agriculture and cultivation are also being approached by the Indian businesses for investments and having their presence here. health and education. These are the areas where the Indian investors are looking for their new investments. Startup areas are also being looked at. New technology developers are coming in and looking for the opportunities to partner with the local Ghanaians for their investments in new futuristic technologies. We see that all areas of business are being targeted at. I only yesterday I addressed gathering of businesses from both the sides in the plastics. Few days ago, it was for the pharmaceuticals and automotives. Um, we had these businesses showcasing their products, technologies and skills in the areas of agriculture, agrotech, pharmaceutical and healthcare. Soon there will be a delegation coming from Confederation of Indian Industry from many sectors of the businesses to interact with the Ghanaian businesses for increased opportunities for investments. So if we talk about the investments right now, the Indian investors and businesses are very much interested in almost all sectors. Yeah. But if you see the priorities, these priorities are agriculture, rural development, basically for the small and medium entrepreneurs, and renewable energy like solar, and also critical infrastructure. So I think we see a very bright future for strengthening the business relations in terms of investments.
Do you have a fair idea how many Indians we have in the country, in Ghana?
If we go by our interaction with the Indian community associations, especially the registered ones, which are almost 15 in number, only in Accra and Tema area, it could be between 15,000 to 20,000.
Wow,
Indians and Indian origin Ghanaians. There are many Ghanaians who are coming from India now, living here for decades, and now they are fully fledged Ghanaians. The most important thing is that the Indian community here is growing very fast. Few years ago, it was a community around 5,000, and now if we say that it's close to 20,000, you can see that the attraction Ghana presents for Indians to come here with their families for pursuing their business interests, their professional interests, interest for their families, to pursue education. I think we are going to have larger number of Indian community here, and the community also consists of diverse constituents, businesses, professionals working with Ghanaian and multinational companies. So it's a very diverse kind of a community, and the way our relations are being strengthened, the community's presence is also seems to be going to be strengthened.
Thank you. And so, as we wrap up our conversation, we have about almost 20,000 Indians in our country, and Ghanaians that love India. And I know there are people, when you give them the opportunity, they would want to go back, they would want to go to India and then live in terms of doing a lot of things, education, everything. So, on the occasion of your 75th independence anniversary, your final words to everyone or anyone watching you as you celebrate this day.
In fact, this is, as I mentioned, a very important and momentous occasion for Indians and friends of India, I must say, all over the world. And Ghana is the a strong friend of India for decades. All Ghanaians are friends of India. So I would like to invite them to join us to celebrate this occasion, and contribute towards bringing India to Ghana in a more meaningful and substantial way. I have seen and got tremendous support from the Ghanaians, not just here in Accra, but all over the country. I have visited till now 14 regions of Ghana, and interacted with cross sections of the society, and found that Ghanaians have deep love and warmth and friendship for India and Indian culture. So on this occasion, I'd like to thank them for having this kind of bond of love and friendship for India, and I would like to invite them to celebrate this with a lot of enthusiasm and fervor, and to work with us in the future to strengthen our relations and to bring our two peoples, Indians and Ghanaians, together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So this has been an open conversation looking at the 75th Independence Anniversary celebrations here in Ghana. And the High Commissioner, he is giving us an open invitation. All Ghanaians, friends of India, we all have to come together and join in the celebration so we continue to strengthen the ties between Ghana and India. It has been an interesting conversation between Mary China Asamoah and His Excellency Sugan Rajaram. Thank you for watching, and then we will meet another time.